it was really interesting to see how prominently featured women were as a part of the narrative. You know, in many ways, you know, they were the stars of the film. Like Black Panther, he was just kind of like, you know, in places. You know, it's true. Like he just kind of found himself in places. Like you know, and the women were carrying the story throughout. They rescued him. Like you know, so, and it's really hard to watch this film and not draw from reality. So, but just talk about the prominence of women in the film.
Yeah, I mean, look, we adapted a comic book. The women of Wakanda, I think, you know, really starting with Christopher Priest's run in the '90s when he invented the Dora Milaje, and you know, picking all the way up until the writers that are taking care of it now. You looking at what Ta-Nehisi's doing with his run now, and you know, the women have always been very interesting, very prominent. You know, all of those characters we have in the film, they are based on characters that exist in the books. We changed a few of them, but in terms of their function in Wakanda, but they were always there. And I think that, you know, we wanted to make an African story. You know, and what you see in African communities, the women are, you know, women tend to hold it down. You know what I mean? They tend to be the ones that are helping further the cause of the community. So we wanted to highlight that, and I think T'Challa is you know, and Wakanda is an interesting place. You know, it's kind of like an ideal place that's kind of, you know, ahead of the curve, I think, and T'Challa has a way of empowering, you know, the women around him, so that they reach their maximum potential. You know what I mean? And they're comfortable being themselves. They're comfortable finding their own lane. You know, and I think that they support him tremendously. You know, and so that was something that was exciting for us, and that's something that makes T'Challa different from other heroes. The fact that he's surrounded by these people like this.